Now, government is assisting families who are vulnerable by making food parcels available, especially those who have lost their income, a way of making a living. Different provinces are providing food parcels to many families, and of course we know that there are many charities doing the same. But are these food parcels nutritionally adequate? Could they be made even better? Well, I'm joined by Professor Hettie Schonfeldt from the University of Pretoria. She's also, of course, the director for the Centre of Excellence in Food Security of the African Research University Alliance. Thank you so much for joining us, Prof. Now, these food parcels are life-saving. So we know that they are keeping people from the point of starvation very often. We understand, and do correct me if I'm wrong, that the parcels distributed in Gauteng contain quite a strong amount of starch, whether it's rice or maize meal, some protein, say tinned fish, for example, cooking oil, tea, sugar, salt, and then also some cleaning items. You know, it is the bare bones for a family, just to keep them just to keep them alive. Where would is it possible to balance it better for the same kind of cost?
Yes, so good evening. I first want to acknowledge just the Bureau of Food Policy and Agriculture that assisted me in the calculations. We considered both Gauteng and the Western Cape food baskets, and as it is run out at provincial level, it looks quite different in some sense, but then also very similar. So what we would recommend is how to optimize it is actually to take a little bit away, save a little bit of money on the starches and supplement it more with the items that are lacking, such as any food products from the animal food group, such as eggs and dairy, and almost no fresh fruits and vegetables are included. And if we just think about the seasonal fruits that's available at the moment, such as oranges and apples, it's something that can easily be added to the basket. And we would recommend that we make use perhaps of the willingness of NGOs to assist in this field. There's many farmer organizations, also religious groups that would like to partake in that. And we have to consider that for the government to do this, it's also a cost factor. So I actually want to recommend the group of people, such as some of our entertainers, that have now become involved and made it like a community spirit to pack these packages for families and make it an enjoyable experience to everyone.
Because Can I just come in here a little bit, just on some of the issues around not enough fresh stuff, fruit, veg, dairy, eggs. The reality is those fresh things, absolutely, they're full of vitamin C and they've got calcium and all the good things, but they also can spoil. And I would imagine it's a logistical challenge. What you want is to take goods that will not spoil. So if it has to sit in a warehouse for a month, for some logistical reason, you don't have to throw all that food away. Is there really any way around that problem?
Yes, well, in fact, our fresh food markets are working currently. I mean, everything is moving within a day. So there's no reason for anything to sit in a storehouse or a warehouse for a month. The dry goods, yes, it can be acknowledged that is what most of the food baskets rely on shelf-stable foods. But if you think about the things that I've already mentioned, such as apples and oranges, I mean, oranges do last for a long time, and they're in season now, and everything citrus can be added, and apples just came into season, and that's also something that has a relatively good shelf life.
Yeah, you make a good point that maybe as we become experts in food parcels, and it's going to become such a reality if COVID-19 continues and the lockdown continues to restrict trade. You also mentioned the issue of salt and sugar. Now, obviously, we need our salt and sugar just to add a little bit of something, but that maybe we don't need quite so much. That is not just an issue, obviously it's for enjoyment, but the reality is you don't want to, I suppose, increase a health risk when you're giving out a food parcel.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we are the country that brought in the first salt reduction legislation in the world. So, just follow those guidelines and stay within the sugar compliance that we would like people to not consume more than 8 tablespoons or teaspoons of sugar per day. So, I mean, that's why if we look at the Western Cape, I mean, they can obviously save on not adding the jam to those food baskets and rather have something fresh with it. And we can, of course, look at soup mixes or broth to supplement or to flavor food. We don't necessarily need salt. Salt is not something that is really required. It's an acquired taste.
It's a very good point that you make, and thank you. It's so thought-provoking. It's the sort of stuff we do need to engage with, and I thank you very much for your time. That's Prof. Hettie Schonfeldt. She is from the University of Pretoria.